Hello everyone and welcome again to TalentSprint for a video presentation on the most common form of accounts in the banking sector, which is the SB account or the savings bank account. We all have got savings bank account. I'm sure all people listening into me would have their own savings bank account by now. Savings bank account is meant for the small savings of the customers. It is meant for small amount of savings for the retail customers. It is not meant for corporate customers. It is meant for the retail or the individual customer. It is the most popular instrument of banks in accepting deposits. The savings bank account is the most popular instrument of banks for accepting deposits, and in fact it has become a necessity for every citizen to have a savings bank account. And this has been amplified very well by the Prime Minister in his major announcements over the last couple of years, when he has said that every citizen of India is entitled to and must have a bank account. When he means a bank account, he means a savings bank account. That is why the Jan Dhan accounts were opened for the rural poor, and even for the urban people also. The savings bank account is the most well-recognized form of banking accounts ever there. So the savings bank account is the most popular instrument of banks for accepting deposits. Used by all classes of people, salaried, self-employed, even daily wage earners. With the push on digitalization, banking is a must for every Indian. And when I say banking is a must for every Indian, it means that every Indian must have a savings bank account. That is the heart of all the banking system. So it is a must for every Indian, and so the savings bank account is used by all classes of people. The salaried people, the self-employed people, doctors, advocates, judges, everybody will have a bank account. The daily wage earners also have a bank account. The auto rickshaw driver, the cab driver, the hairstylist, everybody will have a bank account. So it is the most popular form of banking ever that one can imagine. Deposits take place by cash, check, demand draft, online transfers, etc. Withdrawable also can be done by use of the ATM cards. We have already seen what are ATMs, what is an ATM card, what are the features of ATM card, how they operate, and so on and so forth. The withdrawals can either be done through the ATMs or by transfer to the payee's account by remittances, which we just discussed, by online transfers, by NEFT or IMPS. And withdrawals can also be made by cash at the branches concerned. You can go to your bank with your checkbook and go to the teller counter and get cash across the counter too. So withdrawals can be done in a variety of ways. The savings bank account is used for all kinds of purposes. It can be used for payment of expenses. It can be used for the payment of utility bills like water, electricity bills, property tax, etc., etc. So there is nothing which you cannot pay for through your SB account. Everything and anything can be paid for through your savings bank or SB account. It is most popular for payment of other dues also, like EMIs on loans, credit card bills, etc. Anything and everything which has to go through a banking system for an individual will go through his SB account. I, for one, cannot imagine any kind of banking transaction for an individual which will not go through his savings bank account. As long as he is an individual and as long as he wants to do business through the banking channel, his savings bank account will come into play at every point of time. So there cannot be a banking transaction for an individual without a savings bank account. The account holders are given checkbooks and ATMs. In the olden days, ATMs were not in existence, so the account holders were only given checkbooks, and that too after a period of 1 or 2 months after the account is open, to check whether the account is being conducted satisfactorily or not. Until then, the customers, when they had to withdraw cash, they had to personally go to the bank, use what is known as a withdrawal slip, and then withdraw cash. But with the passage of time, with the increasing amount of banking exposure, with the expanding reach of banks to citizens, and with the advent of technology and the rising competition amongst banks, banks nowadays issue checkbooks and ATM cards on the spot. On the spot, checkbooks and ATM cards are issued whenever the bank account is open. And of course, the first set of checkbooks do not carry the names of the account holders. Subsequent set of checkbooks carry the names of the account holders in what is known as a personalized checkbook. So the ATM cards also carry the names of the account holders. Passbooks have been completely replaced by, or perhaps I should say have been mostly replaced by, email statement of accounts. Although some old generation people still insist on updating of passbooks, even those updating of passbooks is done by printers on computers, but 99% of the people have today switched from passbooks to email statement of accounts. Banks, of course, are increasingly imposing restrictions on cash deposits. We have seen how after the 1st of April, several banks have come out with circulars indicating that cash deposits above a certain permitted level would be charged a service charge, because banks are following the government's Digital India push. So they want to reduce cash transactions as much as possible. So to that extent, banks are trying to restrict the customers from depositing cash to the extent they can. So that is why they are imposing restrictions on the number of times the bank can accept cash deposits. The more than number permitted is being charged service charges. The current rate of interest on savings bank account is between 4 and 7%. 90% of the banks offer 4% interest on daily balances to the SB account holders. There are a few banks which offer 6%, and I think there is one bank which offers even 7% interest on savings bank. Whatever said and done, the savings bank account cannot be replaced. It is like part of our personality. It's a part of our system. So the savings bank account will always be there, and it will be there forever. The savings bank account in its present form may change here and there, may be tweaked here and there, like from the earlier withdrawal slips. Now we have got ATMs. From the earlier money transfers by demand draft, we have now got money transfers by online system. From the earlier system of paying checks to everybody and anybody, we have got the internet banking, by which we can debit the SB account and pay the people concerned. But apart from these tweaks, the savings bank account will always be there. Happy banking, and that's all I have for you in this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.